All right, everyone. Welcome back to this next episode on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. In the last session, we started with introduction of JavaScript. We have seen what is JavaScript and how does the JavaScript is helping us, the types of JavaScript. And finally, we also discussed about the concept of asynchronous non-blocking IO with a practical example to make you understand what is asynchronous input output with non-blocking, with an example of returning a book. When I am not there, my friend is going to come back to collect the book, and there will be somebody called callback, which is nothing but my mom. In this a practical example, she will be returning the book to my friend. So that way I am not blocked. Due to an emergency, I have to leave, and as a result of that, there is somebody else who is going to attend the friend who is going to come and collect this book. So that's the whole process of non-blocking asynchronous input output in JavaScript. Now it's time to realize this in the action. So I'm going to go back and watch out here. We will just use this second function. And in this second function, what I'm going to do is I will just be calling a function in JavaScript which is going to call or which is going to print something after 5-second delay or after 3-second delay. Okay, so watch out. I will be clicking on click me to, and this is the second function we call. And in JavaScript we use a function called set timeout. Okay, and now we'll say 5 seconds or maybe 3 seconds. So 3000 means 3000 milliseconds. 3000 millisecond means 3 seconds. So now what will happen after 3 seconds? And if I write maybe a call to our Anubhav is here. So basically I'm calling Anubhav is here after here. So normal programming language, how does the synchronous flow goes? Typically system will wait until this 3 second is not over, and then it will show you the alert, right? Normal programming language, that's a flow. So you assume as a programmer that system will here wait for 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, it will show you this welcome to Anubhav JS chapter, right? So that's how normal programming works. But watch out, it will not work this way. So when I come back, watch out guys, watch out. I refresh, and now when I click on click me to, it will immediately give you the pop-up. It won't wait for 3 seconds. So I click, and you see immediately you got the pop-up. It did not wait for 3 seconds. Why? Anybody, can you guess why? Why system did not wait here for 3 seconds? Why it simply called my next function? Because it's asynchronous. This function is going to wait for 3 seconds. JavaScript do not wait here. It will move on. It will move on and end this function, second function. It will move on and immediately end this function. It won't wait for 3 seconds to get over, because this function is asynchronous. Now, if I want, in this case, to trigger my welcome after 3 seconds only, after 3 seconds only, after 3 seconds only, then what do I have to do? What do I have to do? According to the diagram which we have written yesterday, what I need to do? Exactly, we need to implement a callback function. Perfect answer. We need a callback function. How is the callback works? So you have to put here, comma, and pass a function. And this is a practical use case of anonymous function. So you see, this is not a function with a name. So somebody was asking Anubhav, what is a practical use of anonymous function? This is where it is. So you can add a callback function, which is an anonymous function, as an argument to this set timeout, and move your Anubhav is here call inside. So that's exactly my mom. So after 3 seconds, this second function will no more be existing, because this will anyway get over immediately. But after 3 seconds, when the response comes back, once the 3 seconds gets over, it's going to call this callback function. And here is where we are triggering our code. Everybody, are you clear with the practical coding of asynchronous non-blocking IO with callbacks? Are you clear, everybody? how is exactly we are realizing it. So yesterday we saw theory, today we are seeing practical for most of the things. Come back, refresh, and now watch out. It will not get you that pop-up immediately. It will say wait for 3 seconds. So now I click 1, 2, 3. So it will wait for 3 seconds, then it's supposed to get it, but it's not getting. There's some problem. So guys, another very powerful funda fox of this chapter. Very powerful funda fox. This in fact is the most powerful. Another very, very powerful funda fox. Who is your best friend? Console is your best friend. Yes. Console is your best friend. Now tell me guys, what is the duty of a best friend? Kaun batayega? You must have at least one best friend in your life. What is the duty of your best friend? What does the best friend do in the life? Help? What else? What else do they do for us? What does the best friend? You must have. Recall who is your best friend in your life. It could be your wife, it could be your girlfriend, it could be a friend of school. What do they do for you? What do they guide and help? What else? What else? What else? I'm expecting a good answer from you. A genuine answer. Support, suggestion. Exactly. Raghu has pointed out a real best friend is the one who tell you about your mistakes. Tell the way they are. Yeah. The way you are. Tum aise ho. Whether you accept or not accept, they will accept you in spite of having so many problems in you, yet they will tell you that this is not right. Correct? They are your best friends. Okay. They are your best friends. Console is our best friend. Okay. Never forget this. If you not make console your best friend, believe me, UI5 is far, far, far away of your reach. Far, far away. This is our best friend. Let me show you. It did not work. I press F12 and I go to console. And I ask console, what's wrong in me? Console is not telling anything, which means there is a problem probably in the syntax itself. Okay. Sometime console will tell you the errors, sometime it won't. So the thing is here, I think we have to put function and then this time after the here. So just the order of the callback is different. So first argument should be the callback. Second argument will be the timer. That's a change. I come back and test it again. So I click me now. 1, 2, 3. It did not trigger. There is something wrong. There is something wrong, dear. There is something really, really wrong. What I can do probably is I will also try to put an alert. Aya ki nahi. Which means did it come to this place or not? I'm just checking, cross-checking. Did it come to my function or not? I'm just cross-checking that. Come back. And I will just click on the button. 1, 2, 3. Aaya ki nahi. It has come, guys. It has come after 3 seconds, which means there's a yes. Now it is also triggering the Anubhav.js chapter. So maybe some problem was in my save, guys. Some problem was in my save. That's the reason it did not work. So it is working fine. So the first argument has to be the callback function here in this case. So now it's waiting for 3 seconds. If you come back and click carefully. So click 1, 2, 3. And there you go. You can see after 3 seconds now it's triggering, guys. Are you all clear? How does the JavaScript works? Okay. Everybody, are you clear? So in the meantime, while this 3 seconds is getting over, I can go ahead and do anything else on the UI. UI is not blocked for me. Maybe just show you adding the logon page quickly. The exercise of yesterday's class. I add a label, user input, and then I'll add a label again, password, and then I'll put input. And then I'll save this, and let me also give ID here, ID user name, ID TWD. So now watch out, during this time of 3 seconds, okay, I can still go ahead and do things on the UI. So let me click, and now I can go and enter username and password, and after 3 seconds this response comes. So user is not blocked, my friends. It is asynchronous, non-blocking IO. Everybody, is this concept clear to and registered in your mind? Okay. Is this concept registered in your mind? Code completion will not work here in .html files. In .html files, code completion won't work. They will only work in .js files, which is what we will also see later. Okay. So this is a function, anonymous function, which I just added here, and it is acting like a callback function in this case. It's not a constant. Okay. It's an anonymous function which is passed as an argument to this set timeout function. That's a callback function. Okay. Now coming back, let's also put a BR, looks better. And I'm going to put a div and move these two gentlemen inside the first div, the first family of elements. And another gentleman also. That's a right way of developing. We saw that in HTML already. And we're going to put that here. Fantastic. I'm going to save this, come back, refresh. You see your username, password field is coming. Fine. Now coming to the exercise, let's add a login page, login button. And I'm going to add it at the bottom. On click equals to login. Save this, come back, refresh. You're going to get login button. Now when I click, I enter my username, password, my name. The first biggest problem, password is visible. Dirty programming, dirty programming. Come back here and put the type as password. Now my question to everybody in this room, how do I know that there is a type property for input as password? How do I know? W3C, perfect answer. Every one of you, you all are champion. Trust me, you all are going on the right path. Perfect answer, W3C schools. All right, coming to login. And now I click on login. Nothing happening. Why? Why it's not logging me in? Why nothing is happening, my friends? Come on. What's the issue here? Why nothing is happening? Because there is nothing like magic. Exactly. We didn't code even this method yet. Let's put this login method on the top. It's a named function, of course. And now watch out the logic, guys. Commented code, / is the commented code in JavaScript. So step number 1, what I'm going to do, get the object of username field. Step 2, read the value from username object. Step number 3, get the object of password. Step number 4, read the value of password. Step number 5, compare the value. Step number 6, show the result. Or terminate login. Fantastic. Line by line, every single line of code. First of all, get the object of username field. Kaise लाएंगे? Yesterday I taught you DOM. It's in the DOM. Document.get element by ID. Please get me the username field object. What's its ID? ID is this one. Exactly as it is, keep it there. Step 1. Step 2, var username. We will get the value o username dot value. We get the value. Next step, repeat it, var object of password. See the naming convention. O first letter is small, next consecutive word first letter is capital. Document dot get element by ID. Practical use case of what we learned yesterday. PWD password field. Let's get its value. Var string password. equals to password dot value. We get its value also, and now it's time to compare. If my username is equals to Anubhav and password is also string password is also equals to Anubhav, then I am logging successfully, else I am going to fail this login. Now the question comes, Anubhav, what is this? We never seen this in programming. Exactly. Coming to the next Funda Fox of today's class. Funda Fox, guys, Funda Fox. In JavaScript, in JavaScript, in JavaScript, in JavaScript, the equals to operator is called assignment. It will do always assignment. So if I just doing username equal to Anubhav, in the if condition, it doesn't mean I'm comparing. It means I am setting the value of username equal to Anubhav. This is assignment operator. So even you write in if condition, it will do assignment of value of Anubhav to the username. Just like this one, just like this one, right? So never do that. Never do that. Double equal to is comparison operator, but only compare values. Triple equals to is again comparison operator, but to compare not just value, but also the data type. Exactly. Not just value, but also the data type. Okay. So that's why we are using triple equals to, not just comparing the value, but also want to compare the data type string. It has to be string. Of course, that's a typical way of writing things. Okay. Now, if it is successful, we give a last output function document.write. That's another output function, guys, which I want to show you. I say login successful. What does this will do? This will change the whole DOM with below code. Maybe I can just put an HTML, H1. So that's what I'll do. End of H1. I'm going to save this. So whole DOM will be replaced with this now. Document.write. Okay, change the whole DOM with below code H1. And then next one is we will say alert. The login failed. Okay. I just save this. Watch out, guys. I'm going to come back, experience the amazing power of JS validating now. So I'm going to put Anubhav and password. See the password, it's coming properly. And I put incorrect value. Let's see what happens. Say login. The logon is failing. Fantastic. Fantastic. And now if I just put correct one, login, voila, there you go. The whole DOM got replaced with the content which I give in document.write. That's your next output function, my friends. Everybody, are you clear? Is that clear, everybody? How to do login success? That was the exercise given to you to try it out. All right, the next output function is called console.log. Many times as a programmer, you want to see what is happening in the code. You cannot debug every line of code. You want to see what's happening. So you can also put console.log. You can say it has come to if condition. This is purely for developers. So now I am outside if condition. Like this, I can put multiple console log. Yeah, and then maybe function is completing now. This is console.log, another output function only for developers. So what will it do? It will print on the console actually. Okay, let's see that. Press F12. Press F12. Go to console, and now here you will see whenever I type something. So I say login. Okay. So, okay, I forgot to refresh. I just have to reload. And now I just say login. And you see now I am going inside if condition. It went inside if it failed, logon failed, and then say function is completing now. So it prints, keep printing these things in the console mainly for developers. Makes your life easy as a developer. Okay. That's how it makes our life easy as a developer. The console.log, the another output function, console.log. Now the question comes, Anubhav, how can I debug the JavaScript code? Guys, browser understand JavaScript directly. So you can debug here in the browser. Come to the sources tab, the third tab in the row. Here, now you can just open the file which you are wanting to debug. Okay. So our file was jsdemo.html. I'm going to click on this and you see this is your complete file. And this is your function, login function. Yeah, this is your function. Just take your cursor on the line number and click here. That's it, guys. Debugger is set. Congratulations, everybody. The debugging has never been so simple. Never been so simple. You can debug right away here in the console actually. Okay. Actually can do debug that here in the source tab. And now watch out. I just go back. I click on login. Voila! It's hitting my debugger. Fantastic. Look at here. It also shows you the flow of calls. So on click was pressed and then there's a login method which is called triggering. You can check the watch point for all the variables if there are at all. Okay. You can check the local variables, all my local variables on the right side. You see all the local variables. Now I press F10. So let me tell you the shortcuts for debugging. So go to source tab. Okay. Go to source tab and begin the debugging. So now here, if you see, this is our flow and we begin to debug. And now what is happening here is we can check. So F10, F10, yes. To move to next line. F11 to go inside. Okay, I'll also compare this with F6 with ABAP programming because you are all ABAPers. So I'm just comparing. Those who not know ABAP, it's okay. So I'm just comparing for those who know ABAP. It's with the ABAP shortcuts. Then Shift F11 is equals to F7. Come out of current method. Then F8 is F8 itself. Just continue till the end. Or next debug point. So that's the flow. Let's go back. I press F10. One line will get executed and you see username has got the object. You have got this object here. Fantastic. So now I press F10 again. Voila, you can see we have got username. It's blank because I didn't put anything. Yeah. Now at runtime, you can also change the value. You can take this username, go to console. Or yahan jaake username equals to Jackass. I had put Jackass. I go back to sources and now you see the username here is set to Jackass. So during debug, you can change the values also. You can not just evaluate, but you can also change them. Yeah. F10. And then I can come back and you see it's checking the value of password. So password is again blank. Now it says console log. So watch out this console log here. It will print it. F10. You see it is printed it here. Console log. And then it goes to checking. It checks. It goes to else function. Alert will be triggered. See the alert have come. Press OK. F10 and now it's completing the function console log. So it will go to console. Function is completing. Yeah, you also see line number here 35. So you can see line number 35 was that. That was the one. And now maybe I can press F8 to continue. So it has completed the call. Maybe let's give the right username password. and say login again. It has come here. Maybe I can also set a breakpoint directly to the if condition. So I come and click here and I press F8 to the next breakpoint. So it directly come here and now you see username Anubhav, password Anubhav. It's comparing. It will go inside F10 and now you see it has come inside. So it will print on console. It has come inside the if condition and then it will say document.write. You see the DOM is changed immediately on the browser and now it's completing the function and F8. That's how you can debug line by line every single line of JavaScript code. Fantastic, guys. That's the power. That's the power of debugging. Like in ABAP, we also have hard debuggers. Okay. In ABAP, we have hard debugger called breakpoint. We also have a hard debugger here called debugger. So maybe I just put a debugger. So I'm not caring about any debugging points. I just want to put a hard debugger. If at all it comes, my programming code comes to this line, please hit this. But precondition to have the hard debugger is your console must be open. To use the hard debugger, the console must be open. Otherwise, even your hard debugger, neither your short debugger, they won't hit. So I put the hard debugger, save it, come back, reload. And now I just simply continue, which is actually going to hit my if condition. Okay. So you see, it is not hitting debugger. Okay. So what will happen is you have to make your console open. Press F12. And now you say login. Okay. So I'll remove these old debuggers, remove them. Again, click on the line number, removes it. Click on login. Okay, my password is incorrect. Click on login. And now I see it's hitting my hard debugger here. So from here, I can start debugging. Sometimes you are deep inside some function. You don't know whether your code is coming to this block or not. So it's easy to put a hard debugger. It will stop there. That is how you can debug the JavaScript properly. So these are some debugging tips for you. Now, there's another thing which I want to improve in our code. If you see, we are actually getting the value of username in two steps. First, we got the object. Second, we got the value from the object. We can actually combine these two to one single statement to make it simplified. This concept is called chaining in JavaScript. So JavaScript supports chaining. Okay, so you can actually do like an object dot method one, and this method one is returning some other object. So rather than using it in a variable, you can directly do dot method two. Okay, that's how you can. This is called chaining. So watch out. So you see, this guy is returning an object, and this object you are then calling by something else, right? So what you can do is copy this guy and simply put it here. Done. Are you clear, guys? What is chaining example? And now we don't need line number one. Bye-bye. Everybody, are you clear? How can I simplify my code? This is just another way of writing things. Just another way. Choice is yours. You can choose whatever you like. It's my duty as a trainer to teach you all the techniques. Okay. Chaining in JavaScript, guys. Chaining in JavaScript. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Now, the next question here is, Anubhav, I don't want to show a pop-up to the user when the login is failing. I want to rather, I don't want to show this pop-up. I want to write here only that login failed. No problem. Let's try it out, how JavaScript can help you. So I can come down and I'm going to add here another element. Put a BR actually. Maybe put another div. And maybe we'll put an ID for this div as, let's say, error message. Yeah, error message. And I'm going to put a label inside with the style, inline styling I'm putting. Color is red. Font size is 14. Font weight is bold. I put some inline style and I'll say login failure. Try again. So this is a message which I want to show. Now, if I just simply refresh this, this will come immediately actually. If I refresh, it comes immediately. That's dirty. We should only show it on click of login button. So initially what I will do is I will hide this. This gentleman, I will hide actually. Okay. We will not make it visible. So we will put an inline style code equals to display is none. I'm putting display none. This is a CSS. Okay. Now watch out. Whenever login failure. So now it will not display. Display is none, which means it won't come now. But when my login fails, instead of showing that pop-up here, this guy, I will make that appear dynamically. So I will show you example of changing the CSS dynamically. Are you all with me? I told you the JavaScript can do the DOM manipulation. It can also change the CSS at runtime. So what are all the steps? So first of all, guys, DOM, get the object of your target element. किसको target कर रहे हो उसका object चाहिएगा. Nothing like magic. You have to get the object of your target HTML element. DOM से आएगा वो var o div or this is my error message, whatever it was. I say document dot get element by ID. And then I'm gonna get this gentleman error message here. पहले तो ये काम करो इसका. First step is step number 2. Change the CSS now. So o error dot style dot what is the property we used to make it hide? Display property. So I will say now display is equals to block display. Display it as a block. Don't make it none. Ab aega maja. Let's go back and refresh and watch out the magic on the screen. We are magicians. Developers are magicians, guys. Now I'm going to put incorrect username and a valid password. And I say login. Voila! Dynamically displaying the error message. Thanks to CSS. Thanks for changing CSS at runtime. Let's see some more complicated example of changing CSS. What I'm going to do is to just quickly go back to our CSS chapter and get those blocks. Get those blocks over here. पूरे के पूरे blocks लेके आ जाओ यहाँ पे. Just copy them. I hope you don't mind me copy pasting here at least, because this part I've taught you properly and then only I'm doing a copy paste of code. Without teaching you, I am not doing copy paste. If you know something already, you can do copy paste. And let's also bring our CSS, जो कि वहाँ हमने डाला था पहले. Let's get that CSS also here for free. And that gives you a great advantage. You don't have to rewrite everything. You just link that CSS. And now let's quickly run and check what we get. So of course, we're going to get our blocks. All our blocks are visible over here. Fantastic. That's cool. Now, on click of a button, I want to add a magic button. On click of magic button, I want to change the background color of this yellow background color. I want to change it to red. Okay. Or I want to change it to aqua. Okay. Let's do that. Tino ka karna hai. Anyone, what do you think? Which API will you use to get the objects of all of these three block sections? Which API of document you will use? Get element by class name. Yes, perfect answer. You don't use ID now, because if you use ID, you have to do it 3 times, but they all of them share the class name. They all belongs to same family. That's why I taught you the class name concept. So that's the reason we can do by class name. So let me go back and add a method, add a new button. Magic. And I'm just going to write this on magic out there on the top. On magic. And here we are going to write the code. So watch out. Step number 1. Get all those blocks. Step number 2. Loop them one by one. can't eat the whole pizza in one go. You have to eat bite by bite. Just like in ABAP, you do loop at ITAB. Yeah. Loop them one by one. Change the CSS of each of them in the loop. I hope, guys, this is called spoon feeding teaching. This is the way we learn every single line of code and understand the meaning of it. Let's get it. Var array आएगा. Array of blocks आएंगे हमारे पास में, because it's gonna return multiple this time. Document get elements by class name. And now I'm gonna come down. You see these are the boxes you have. Yeah, boxes we have. And we're gonna take this box content, this guy, this part, second part we're gonna take. Copy that and paste it over here. Fantastic. 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 All right. Now I'm gonna take this block and I'm gonna loop over this block. Yeah. For loop. I is, tell me what does an array starts with which index? कौन बताएगा? Yesterday's class. Perfect answer. Rohit, Bhanu, Karthik, Ganu, Bhagwan, Rahul, Ajit, Nishad, Vikram. All of you are fantastic learners. You all have correct answer. It starts with 0. I is less than my array of block dot length. जब तक length है move करना है. Simple for loop which we learned in school days, right? I plus plus, keep incrementing it like C programming. That's your loop. And inside this now you're going to act every single block. It's like loop and I tab into work area. And this is your work area now here. Single block. And for each of the block now inside you can change style dot background color. BG color I think. Okay. Or maybe say background is equals to, I'm going to change it to aqua. Maja avi gyo. Let's also change the color to red. Text color to red. And let's also change the font to 15. Let's save this up. Dynamically changing. Everybody, are you clear with this block of code? Line by line, every single line of code, no copy paste. Can you change the class level instead of each item? I have already changed it to class level. This is the class name. Yeah. And then you get it, all of them here, and then you're looping up. This is the best way. You can go ahead and try multiple ways. There can be multiple ways of changing this. It's your choice. It's your choice. You can go ahead and change it based on you, what you need, what you feel is more appropriate according to you. Okay. I'm going to come back, refresh, and let's click on magic button. Voila, there you go. All the text has been changed to red color and the background changed to aqua. Fantastic. Look at this power of changing the CSS at runtime. You are introduced with the blocks array and the looping example. Everybody, are you clear? Line by line, please answer in chat window. Is this exercise clear? How can we use the loop? How can we get elements multiple? You see elements, plural it is, S is there. Elements by class name and loop over. There was one of my student who writes to me, Anubhav, when you show things, they are all beautiful. They all works easy and looks easy and they all work. But when I try, Anubhav, in my system, nothing works. How many of you facing this? Just type me. How many of you facing this issue that when I show everything, it works, but when you try it out, it takes a little bit of time or it doesn't work? Yes? Let me tell you one thing. Good news for you. You are on the right track. Yes. If this is happening to you, you are on the right track. These are the symptoms. These are all some symptoms that it's healing. It's healing. Since many, many years on your mind, on your heart, there was a big layer of not working hard. That layer is slowly disappearing. And these are the symptoms of that layer disappearing. It will take little bit of time. Get going. If these symptoms are you able to see, trust me, that layer will go away first. Once that layer is gone, the fresh diamond will come out from inside. Okay. The fresh diamond will come out from inside. Just don't get disappointed that your output does not come. It's fine. This is expected. It happened with me also. Not just you. It happened with me. Believe me, you got to believe and trust that one day fresh diamond will come out. 29-carat diamond will come out ultimately. Believe me. This is expected if it is happening to you. If it is not happening, very good. Your programming is good, is strong already. It's already very strong, your programming skills. You can get going. Okay. The one day it will happen to you also once you reach to UI5 chapter, maybe. Okay. Now, coming to the next, how do we do more stuff with JavaScript? We can actually also do dynamic programming using JavaScript. Watch out. I'm going to come back and I will be putting here at the end an empty div element. Okay. Empty div element, and we'll give some ID called dynamic. Whatever you want, you can keep. You can say, Mario. It's your choice, it's your choice. So I had put here div element. Maybe I'm just going to put it below the blocks. Mario. Yeah. And just above the Mario, I'm going to add a button. And I'll say on click, of course, show me magic. Show me magic. And I'll say add element. Something I'll say. And let's try this show me magic. So what I'm going to do in show me magic, I'm going to go back and I will be writing in show me magic some dynamic code. So basically we want to dynamically insert something in the DOM. As I told you, we can manipulate the DOM dynamically. So we saw we can validate the data using JavaScript. We can manipulate the CSS at runtime. We can show different output functions. Yeah, we show different output functions. We can change the CSS. We can do looping. We can do if else. We can now also see how can it helps you to change the DOM dynamically. So that's what show me magic is going to do. So for that, steps are we need to first create a brand new element of any type. The next step is to add text to that element, and then finally send this brand new element inside the DOM so user can see on UI. Yeah, because unless you not put it in the body, you can't do anything. So create a brand new element. Aja var new element. Dynamically creating a new element, guys. Maybe you never use it in your whole lifetime. This is mainly suitable for website developer. But just to show you, create element. I'm gonna create an h2 tag, heading 2 tag, and now I'm gonna say new element dot set text node. Sorry, set node text. I'm just setting the node text. Welcome. Just say welcome. And I'm going to say, now I'm going to get this placeholder. We've created a container actually. That container is Mario. I'm going to get that Mario container here. So let's get the Mario container. I'm going to say, oh, container. So that Mario element will work like a container. It's an empty div right now. Document.get element by ID. Mario daldo. And then finally we can say dot append child. Remember, it's a tree data structure. So we are just saying please add a child. And ye element isme pass kar do. You are successfully adding a new element dynamically to the container, line by line, every single line of code with the syntax and all the code snippets. Let's come back and experience the amazing world of JavaScript. And now watch out. This is add element button. I click, nothing happening. What's going wrong? Press F12. Console is my best friend. Dekho aage na problem. Set node text is not a function. See, console is your best friend. It will tell you your mistakes. You can now right away go to this, click on this link. It takes you to the line of code which is failing. This is what is failing actually. So I can put up a breakpoint, again click, and you see it has come here, and now can explore what are all the methods which we have in new element. Go to console, new element. What are all the methods you have? Set node text, do you have? You don't have it. Set text node you have? No, we don't have. So what else do you have? You see, these are all the methods you have here. Okay. We don't have that. So we have to change our approach. The approach here is you need to create the text node manually. So you have to create the text node by a document object, create node text or create text node. Yes, this one we have to do it. So this way we have to set the text actually. So let's create this text node separately. So say var o text node, object of text node, and in that we will move our welcome. And to this new element we will say further append child. Iska child bana do isko text node ko. Text node will become a child of this new element. That's my real code. I'm going to go back, come back and refresh. And now watch out what happens. I click on add element. Voila! Dynamically it's adding a new element. Welcome, 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 welcome. Wow. Awesome. Now, what I'm going to do is I don't want every time to print welcome. I want to give an input field, and whatever you type in input field, that should get printed. Easy. Extremely easy. Jaake ek input field laga do idhar. Let's put an input field and with an ID, and I'll say my text, whatever you want to give it. Yeah. Naming convention is important. So I just put a my text ID wala input field. I'm going to go back on the top, and now instead of welcome hard coded, we simply pass document dot get element by ID. My text dot value chaining in JavaScript and save this fantastic, that value of input field will be passed to the text node, and according it will be creating. Let's try it out, guys. Let's try it out. Come back here. You see you got an input field, and I will say hello. Hello is getting printed. I will say Kamma Gani. That's a hello in Rajasthani. That's a Kemcho in Gujarati. Come on, guys. Tell me your language, your mother tongue. Tell me what do you call in hello. Ye macha. Tamil, right? Ye macha. What else? What else you call hello? What else you call hello in your language? Bonjour. French hello. Bonjour. Kamati acha. All right. That's Kannada, I guess. Oh, wow. There you go. Yellow now. Fantastic. You can see yellow now will be printed over here. Yellow now. That's how you can add it, guys. Kya hal hai in Hindi? All right. Kaise chal rahe? Ye dekho kya hal hai. That's the dynamic programming using JavaScript. Kimeti acha in Odia. Wow, that's so cool. India is so diverse country. I love that. I love that place, guys. We don't have any diversity in the world other than India. Vanakkam. Yes, I know that. Vanakkam. I use very often with my Tamil colleagues. Vanakkam. And this is the word which I learned from Chennai Express. Vanakkam. Vanakkam. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Look at that. That's called diversity with unity. JavaScript is working according to the needs which we have with the users. Everybody, are you clear with JavaScript? Last thing which I want to show us is external JavaScript. So all this code, if I remove from here, kya hoga? Kuch bhi nahi chalega. Nothing will work if I remove everything from here. So my script tag is now empty. Come back, refresh. Everything will become like nothing works, you see. Nothing works. Absolutely nothing. Nothing works. Nothing works. Why? Because I've removed the JavaScript. What we want to do is separate out this piece of code in a completely different file. That's called external JavaScript. Can you guess what will be the extension of that JavaScript file, which I'm separating it out from here? Perfect answer. It will be .js. JavaScript.js. Like in CSS, it was .css. Here it is going to be .js. So let's create a new file. And I'm going to name this file as anubhav.js, whatever you like, you can give. And now I'm going to paste this complete coda over here, which I've cut from there. I just save this. Okay. I just cut and paste, and don't care about these errors. Ignore them for now. All right. Ignore these errors for now. You don't care about those errors. It will still work. Don't care about web ID errors. It's okay. Okay. Just ignore them for now. And now we've got this Anubhav.js. So if I come back and refresh and try to work with it, do you think it's going to work? Do you think it's going to work? No, why? Why it's not working? Nothing like magic. We didn't connect our JS with HTML page, right? So for CSS, we use the link tag, but for here, you should not use link tag to connect a JS. A script tag itself is sufficient to connect, okay? No link tag, okay? Don't use link for connecting JS. JS connects only via script tag. So we use a script src, and now I'll just put the address of my file. Kahan pe hai? Yahin pe hai, anubhav.js. So simply put anubhav.js. Everybody, are you clear what is external JavaScript? Same code doesn't change. Code doesn't change. Only the place where you code is changing. It's putting in a separate JS file. Okay. Putting in a separate JavaScript file and linking that JavaScript file with the src property of the script tag over here on my main page. Come back, reload, and watch out, guys. The file is only different, and now I'm going to put unnao. Wow. Sawadee-kap. That's Thai. Then Chinese, what do you say? Ni hao. Ni hao. What else? We can put here maybe bonjour. Hello, bonjour. Salute. Je m'appelle. Salute, je m'appelle. Awesome, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Hello in different languages. Fantastic. That's your code. It's perfectly working fine. You see, changing the color. It's giving you the pop-up. Everything live in action. You can see here on your screens. Okay. So we should ideally modularize your code by keeping it in a separate JS file. That's the right way of coding. Modularize. Okay. Como está usted? I don't know what is that. That is. Seems like it's Spanish, or is it? I don't know what that language. Como está usted? Yeah, Spanish. All right. Awesome. Some of you working in Europe, so you must be familiar with it. All right. That's our external JavaScript file, guys. That's our external JavaScript file. So that's how we create JavaScript separately in a different file. Now, somebody was asking code completion. It'll work here now. So if I want to do a for loop, you can just come here for control space, and you see it will work the control space, and it shows you the code completion here for JavaScript. Because WebID is built for JavaScript, not for website development. Any JS file will show you the code completion, you see. And press enter. So it will generate the necessary code for us. Yeah. So you can just select it, and it will generate the necessary code. I don't know why it's not. But code completion will work for JS files, my friends. Okay. You see it's generated the code. All the code it is generated nicely. So that's where it will work. So this was one question by many of you, Anubhav, how will it work? So you see it's working, but it's giving some error, which is okay. You know, these are basically code guidelines. It's not a good practice to leave the hard breakpoint in the system. So that's a violation of the guideline. That's why it's giving you a red. It doesn't mean it's a syntax error. It means it's a violation of code guidelines. All right. It's not expected from you as a developer to leave this code in a productive code. That's why it's giving some error, which is okay. And in this case, you see the I is not even declared before we using it. So what you can also do is just to avoid it, you can say var I. So now you see that error is gone. So these are code guidelines basically. Okay. Can we have user specific breakpoints? No, we cannot. We cannot have user specific breakpoint like in ABAP. We cannot do that. Okay. And of course, you never want to do it for your business user. You as a developer yourself want to manage it. Time for your questions and an exercise. Let me give you an exercise, a nice one. You can use Google to complete this exercise, is also fine. So you need to design a table, a cricket tournament table with 3 columns. Team name, captain, and then you can put t-shirt color. Okay. So what you need to do is, and above this, put 3 input fields with add button. So basically when I enter data in input field and click on add button, the data should get added to my table. A new record should be created inside my table. That's what you have to do. Let's see how many of you can complete this exercise. Okay. Now, questions please from today's session. Anybody, feel free to ask your questions. Any questions?
Regarding the task, when I click on that above that input button, so there is a 3 column is there. So first, so that in that case, is only 1 input will be there, or how 3 input will be there?
There will be 3 input fields, of course. So you will be having total 3 input fields. Let me give you a mock-up. So it will be like this: 1, 2, 3 in a straight line. Then you have your button to say add button. And then of course you will have a table at the bottom. That's your UI mockup. Abhi yahan pe, if I put some value, let's say A, B and C. If I just say add button, then A, B, C gets added. Okay. That's how it should be.
Okay. Bob?
Yes, please.
External, for the external, we need to code inside first, and then we need to remove the code from the, and then make it in the, create a different file and save it, or how we need to do?
You can directly code in external JS file. So you can create a file. You can start writing methods here and just link it over here. And then you can simply call your methods like we're doing. So all these methods are part of JS file, separate file. So it's not mandatory. I just showed you the concept in this way, but don't necessarily you follow the same way. You can create external file first, .js file, put the methods there and link it. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the difference between .js and .json file? .json is purely data. It's no processing logic. JSON is data representation of JavaScript. JavaScript object notation it is. But JS is the programming code. Okay. It's a programming code. You see, it's methods. It's programming code. It's not data. Okay. But JSON will be data. Like we saw employee data yesterday. That was JSON. So there are these two different things. How can get tricky imagination? I tried getting late. Tricky imagination. I did not understand what does that mean. Tricky imagination. I tried but getting late. Not really sure. REG code. I don't know what is REG code means, regular code. So you just have to, what you can do is after the class, watch my video of this session and then practice whatever I taught. And then at the end, try the exercise. That is the right flow of learning. And then you can imagine your own scenario and then you can, try to implement it. Whatever questions coming in your mind, let's say, can I do like this? For example, if I'm at your place, I'll say, Anubhav taught me the chaining. So can I do chaining for password field also? Is it possible? We can try that. If I change here, what will happen? If I change here, what will happen? So like these things, you can think about it. So what is Node.js? We have heard many times. Node.js is server-side JavaScript. It's not relevant for us in this course of SAP UI5 and Fiori. We will never, ever use Node.js in UI5. Node.js is mainly used to build server-side applications. If you're willing to work on Node.js or learn Node.js, you can subscribe my advanced Fiori course, or you can also get a quick painkiller. I will give you a quick painkiller on Node.js. Let me just give you the painkiller on Node.js. So let me just do that. I give you a quick painkiller on Node.js. Node.js Anubhav. So this is a quick painkiller, those who are willing to learn basics of Node.js. So this is the one. Please check this video. Put it in the chat window. So this one you can just go through. It's a 1.5 hour tutorial to get basic understanding on the Node.js. Okay. All the top companies these days use Node.js as the preferred server-side programming over the Java programming. So they use Node.js, like you can see here somebody explaining Flipkart. How do they use Node.js for scaling? Yeah. So a lot of these things you can do. What is container here? Can you please quickly go through it? Container is nothing but I'm just naming it as container. It's nothing but an empty div element which is going to store your coming elements. So this is act as a container. So this div is act as a container. So in this we are bringing dynamically all the elements added, right? That's why we're calling it as container. But don't confuse this word container. Forget about the container word. Just understand it's a div tag which is going to include your dynamically coming elements. So what do you call something which accumulates something else? Container, right? You can call it as a glass. You can call it as a bottle. It's your choice. I call it as container because, you know, that's a good word, English word to use for something who's going to contain something else. It's ultimately a div element which is going to contain things. All right. Fine, guys. With that, it's a wrap on today's class. Catch you up tomorrow at the same time. Nice day. Yes, please.
Can you store this web IDE in any place? But if you want to check, if I need to check this code, can you store this? Can you save this file in any places?
It's here in our training blog. I am sure you would have got our training blog
No,
access.
I checked this one, but I'm not able to find the latest one.
You will find it. Go to PPT and material. Every day, today is our 7th class. So right after the class, you'll find it here with numbers. Today is our 8th class. So right after the class, you'll find it here, 08 foundation. You see,
Okay.
till today, everything is here.
Because I'm able to find always welcome one only zip file.
No. You got to scroll down a little bit in this. You'll find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see.
Okay, I will check. Thanks.
They're all here. Yes, please.
No, one more thing. I am sharing my my solution exercise solution to you, but I am not sure whether you are getting or not. In the solution folder also, I could not see my solution document, my solution into the.
Did you click on the share button after adding it to the drive? You got to click and share. And usually I will only put the solutions which comes on time. Something which you share maybe after 2 classes, then it will not be kept here.
Okay.
So you just have to select and click on share button. And that's how. But anyway, that's okay. Even if your solution not visible here, it's fine. It's fine. Just I just put something which comes on time. I put it here for your reviews. Anyway, every solution I'm covering in the next consecutive class, you can compare with my code.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much once again. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay, there are some more questions in the chat window. Let me read them up. Why we need to use header in HTML? That's for website designing. We use header tag. It's not relevant for UI5 developers. So I have skipped it conveniently. So when I click on click to, it gives me output in 3 seconds. Can you give me some example where it comes in real-time scenario? Okay. So where do we use this asynchronous callbacks in real-time scenario? So it will be typically in cases where you want to read data from SAP system. So tell me, guys, if I call SAP system and I say, hey, SAP system, give me material data. Do you think SAP will give me material data immediately? No. It depends on multiple factors. It depends on network load on SAP server, how much processing time it takes within the server, what is the speed of your internet, where are you running this application, which device are you running it, what is the processing speed of your device, so many factors. So you cannot hard code the time that after 5 seconds check the data, whether it has come or not. And you can't go into infinite loop to keep waiting it. So in that case, we use asynchronous callbacks because you made a call to SAP system. Now SAP system doing its processing by the time the call ended here. And later on SAP system will send you the data back. Maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 4.5 seconds, 9 seconds, we don't care. And it's different for different users because they run in different countries, different internet connection, different speed, different network load. So it depends on user to user. So that's where the callbacks are used to whenever the data come back, later part of time, it's going to captured by the callback where you can do the processing. Okay, that's something we're going to learn in chapter number 32. That's where exactly we'll be using this callback. Again, we'll be using it later in the details. So please hold on, understand the concept for now. Also with an example we saw today. But later on, we'll be doing this stuff real in the system with a real-time example. You need to wait for right time. Murli, call me right away after the class. So I'm closing the session here. You can call me after the class, Murli. Goodbye, guys.
Thank you.